Hey guys, Freak Parade here, recording for the first time. So forgive me if anything seems a little off. I just wanted to share with you guys a couple tips. I'll be posting this a little later and linking it on the Discord. Let me bring that up real quick while we're talking about it. So for Guild vs. Guild right now, definitely want to be using Grass and Geronimo Ginger, where we have two teams of three. We're going to want those two tanks right now. Even though Big Blue Buddha has the most health, he, as I say here, he currently has no accessories, pets, runes, and enchants that are worthwhile to being a tank. So I would just stick with Grass and Geronimo Ginger until we possibly get better tanks, or until, you know, they level up themselves. DPS here, Chillhoof. He's my brother, actually. He's probably the best DPS we have, just because of Dual Strike. But he has a lot of good runes, a lot of good enchants that pertain to being a good DPS. Now, I put all these stats together because, you know, how PvP and Guild vs. Guild kind of scales everything to your level. What matters most, in my eyes at least, it seems to be the runes and enchants, you know, the bonuses. So that's what really matters. That's why those guilds are looking for legendary pets, legendary accessories, whatnot. So yeah, like I said, Chillhoof's really good right now. He's got the 12% dual strike, 2.5% in power, 1.75% speed, 1.5% damage. Derpy is also very good there. He got 5% bonus to damage, 2.8% bonus to speed, 1% dual strike. I just recently got another rare Empower rune, so my Empower is all the way up at 4.3%. That's very good. I got a 12% bonus to damage and a 0.8% bonus to speed. Bob the Ross has 1.5% in power, 0.8% dual strike, and OKPO has 7.5% dual strike, which is really good on its own, but there's just nothing currently. He just doesn't have anything else to supplement that. Still a good contender though, especially for the future when we need more. You know, maybe when there's like 3 teams of 3 as opposed to 3 teams of 2 going on. 1, always manual PvP in GVG. This is your advantage against an AI controlled team. Self-explanatory, guys. Definitely want to have that advantage over an AI team that's autoing for you. So you're going to aim for those backlines, aim for those squishy DPSs. You'll want to, as I say here in number 2, find the weak link with a multi-attack and focus them down one at a time. In most cases, players will put a tank in the front protecting their squishy DPS. I've come across a couple times this week already where, for some reason, no one's putting their tank in the front. Sometimes they're putting it in the back just to confuse people. I like to use, what is it here? Let me drop this down real quick. I like to use True Shot with an arrow, but I know the spear has another ability that kind of damages a lot of other people, and you can kind of see, judging by how much of the health bar they took, how weak they are. So you want to single those guys out and take them down. That's going to be really successful in the guild. Oh, got a couple messages here. Looks like it gives points for defeats as well. We got one guy to kick as well. Yes, that is very true. I have noticed that, and I'm going to do that very soon. Let me see here. Where was I? Kind of can't remember now. But let me bring up Discord again. Okay, so back to GVG. If it's wave 1 and only their tank remains, save the SP. There's no need to burn the tank down since he will do minimal damage to you. This is your time to build up that SP for wave 2. 4, remember to switch out your guildmates. This is something that I actually forgot. This is something that only until very recently I'm starting to do because I just forget that it's an option. Sure, you don't really want your DPS to get hurt, but having a tank alive and be able to like switch back into the middle or the back lines and get healed and then switch back to the front, keeping everybody alive, that's ideal. You know, that's a good way to keep everybody alive and not have to use potions. It's a real game changer. Again, thanks for everybody so far who's joined the Discord. I think it's going to be monumental in our growth. I am really serious about this, as you can tell. Any questions, feel free to ask. I got a little list going on right now of everyone who's joined. Might be a little bit redundant, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. Let me just do a GVG. I like to kind of wait for 3 of anything to go. I just heard that that's a good thing to do. I used to do 5s, and in fact, if I don't have a lot of time, I'll still do 5s. But I've been recovering from surgery these past couple weeks. I've been on this like crazy, so typically I'll just do 3s, but for the purpose of this video, we'll go down to 2. Hit play. I'll always go to the bottom. In PvP, I'll almost always go to the top, but in GVG, I'll almost always go to the bottom because I just don't feel like one person's TS is gonna... It doesn't really show how strong that guild is, so you might as well just, go for it all. As I said, have Grass, definitely have him be your main tank, and Geronimo is your secondary tank. You have to be in GVG, obviously, so you're going to have one less of these people, but I strongly recommend these setups. Let's go. See what we got here. Obviously do some 1s. See how I'm manualing. Definitely want to do that. This tank's not the best, but we want to do a bullseye. In the back, he looks like a squishy dude. He's got reduced damage. I'm kind of committed now. Now with Grass, I'll always do 2. Even though it does a little bit less damage to the front, but that's the tank anyway. So who cares, right? And this heals him a little bit, so that kind of... It helps quite a bit. Couple more turns going. I hope we win after all this, but even if we don't, I mean, we're not... The point's going to get across anyway, but we're still a pretty weak guild, so there's not too much we can do. But this is the best setup that I've seen so far. I mean, I've had some pretty good luck. I got about 9,000 points. There's Chillhoof over there. So to see what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to swap him out with Bob Ross. By the way, Bob, I love that afro. It's freaking perfect, man. See, and I could use the 2, right? I could use the 2 to wipe him out, but why do that when I can just do 1 here? Gonna use leap attack. I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this guy because I think we have a spear. And spears attack the back line, so I think everybody can collaborate together to hit the back line. So let's do that. Yeah, not gonna make it this time, guys, but point is still across. There's that dual strike, but he got saved by his poo, his little ground candy. Which, by the way, if you guys don't have a pet yet, you're watching this and you're in the guild, you don't have a pet yet, we do have the ground candy option right here in the shop. He's not really good. I mean, I feel like I see a lot of tanks lusting after Love Boy, which is basically he's an epic ground candy. It's 40% chance to prevent death, where ground candy is only 20% chance to prevent death. But it's better than nothing. So go ahead and grab that if you don't have anything already. Maybe in a later video or in another post I'll explain to you what you should be spending your gems on. I think that's good for now. I do want to point this out. I didn't know this for the longest time, but you can hit this guild button here. Boom, guild. And you can see how we're doing and how you're ranking up compared to everybody else. Keep up the good work, guys. I do know, like I just said, we don't have the strongest team right now, but we're so much better than we were a couple weeks ago. So we're really making some good progress. So thanks everybody for their contributions so far. Got a couple more active people than we did the last time around, so that's great. I think I will leave you right now. Have a good day.